What's going on, world? It's your boy, excuse me, at Big Game James _36. This is Big Games B.S. coming to you from our bunker. Trying to stay safe from the hurricane. Just joking. Jacksonville wasn't. I think where I live at might be the only place in North Florida that wasn't affected because apparently I'm looking at my Mandarin group chat. Every coach doesn't have power except for me. So our power is flourishing here. Unfortunately, my mom's isn't. If you're affected and you're in the storm, whether it be Twitter, whether it be YouTube, please just go ahead and let me know. I would like to know that you're okay. Just be like, hey man, we got power. We don't have power. Whatnot. Not until dog. They canceled our games on Tuesday. Almost all the games in the area. St. Johns County had left it open to be able to be played, but they had to cancel all of they ended up canceling their games because I think Gainesville got hit pretty hard. So some of them are playing some teams out of Gainesville. So a lot of us it's going to be Monday Night Football in Jacksonville for a majority of the high schools in this area, and we play on Friday. So it's a double whammy. Yeah. So yeah. Hopefully everybody's okay under the sound of my voice, and those who aren't. Share this real quick. Ooh. Yeah. Robert Owen says they're doing post-storm cleanup and assessment in Orlando. Yeah, man. I didn't know Orlando even got hit that bad, man. Sorry to hear that, man. Need Nikki to be okay. Checking this out. About to share this on the social medias. All right. Going into it, just housekeeping. Let's talk about the storm. And how some people just Florida people, man. Florida people. First of all, open up that email. The second one I sent you with just the Twitter. Yeah, that one. That'd be the first thing that we show because this is funny. It was funny to see when everybody found out that this gentleman was headed to Tallahassee. Everybody was just was very upset and sad. But this is how people reacted to Jim Cantor when they said he was coming to Tallahassee. And it's not illogical, actually. It's actually quite it makes a lot of sense when you think about it, considering his reputation.
Look, we get it. Usually when Jim shows up, bad weather isn't far behind. Can't the guy get a break when he's on a break?
At least he gets the beach all to himself. I wonder, like, when he goes to some of these places, if he stays for a little bit, like just to hang out. You know, it's all over now, so might as well. Prime time Mac put lights was out, but so was I. Didn't bother me. That's the best way. People ask me, my family always says, "Hey man, what's your best advice for surviving a hurricane?" Go to sleep. What's staying up going to do for you? All you're going to do is panic and worry yourself. And statistically speaking, you're going to be okay. But if you're not okay, what is staying up going to do for it? Now you're going to live through your death. That's torturing yourself. Why not go? Everybody wants to go in their sleep. That's what my grandmother did. I was like, Mom, how's everybody doing? She's like, your grandmother been asleep since 8. My grandmama, when I texted her this morning, my grandmother doesn't sleep. She only sleeps during hurricanes. So like that's when she knows nobody's gonna probably be outside the door. So she's just gonna go take her ass to sleep. Meanwhile, my mom was out there spazzing. No power, which is miserable. That's why I'm glad I went and got the new phone I got. Because if we lost power, my old phone was like, if you look at your iPhones, it tells you what your battery life actually is. So like mine was at like 75% even when it was 100% charged. And it died really, really quick. So you heard that? We got an echo. But yeah, we got 2 mics on. Okay. Morning, Londa. Hopefully you're good with the storm. But yeah, let's just click on some of the other stuff that was going on. A lot of dumbness, especially down in Tampa. But this is why I don't fear civil wars. Like everybody's like, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and you're not. Well, actually, this is what I do fear. This is when outside of Jim Cantor, Waffle House does not close. When Waffle House, when they showed this is supposed to be the Waffle House on Tennessee Street. When they showed this, I was like, okay, I'm a little nervous now. I don't know what I think. I don't know what to think. These things, like now, I'm sure they're taking the boards off. Somebody showed me the Waffle House on Thomasville Road is open. So they all just think about this. Waffle House has the best generators because they're always, no matter what happens, they're going to be open. And you're going to be able to. Waffle House and Chinese food restaurants. When the last time Jacksonville got hit by a major storm, I believe it was 2019. No, 2019. I was I don't know. I didn't have Killer. So 2018. It was right before Killer came. I remember one of my teammates, Cam Wembley, decided that he wanted to just show up to Jacksonville in the middle of a goddamn hurricane. It was like, hey man, I want to hang out with you. Bitch, come to my house. Get out of the storm, you dumbass. Then I found out he was crazy, but all the power went out on my street. And we the only thing that was open was China Walk and Waffle House. But Waffle House wasn't taking, but you had to have cash. You couldn't use your cards. Now you can probably use Cash App because people can. But the Waffle House people probably gonna steal. They're like, just shoot me a little bread and I'll get it over to you. But you know, those are the places where you can go get you some good nourishment and get out of the muck. You know, me and the boys will be leaving here as soon as I'm done. We'll go we gotta go see the barber. We looking rough around here. I know they're gonna love that. So on to the next thing. Waffle House, when Waffle Houses are closed, that's a way to know that it's getting real out here in these streets. Again, why I don't fear civil war, and this isn't even the worst part of, like, they had more people driving over it. The bridge was literally covered in water in Tampa, and people were deciding to do this. One thing about Americans is you don't listen to anybody. You don't trust government, and I get it. Government's done some fucked up shit. But at certain points, man, like, there's fucking, the bridges, like, that's not CGI, dog. You know a hurricane's coming. Stay your ass inside. But yet, this is what they want to continue to do. And yeah, it's a fucked up situation. We're dumb as shit. But that's America for you. So that's what was some more storm stuff that was going on. Going to the next thing. Oh, you didn't even play it. Yeah, just all right, there we go. So you can see the storm surges. There was worse videos. And they're just driving like, yeah. I know the winds was crazy.
Yeah, get the F out of here. I'm not driving nowhere.
They had people drive. They have this bridge that I think connects Sarasota to Tampa. It's a stupid bridge. It's like stupid high. It like looks like you're driving to heaven. I hate that bridge. and people were driving that. There, you can't. I don't like driving that thing when the conditions are great, let alone when it's a hurricane coming. But you know, all in all, I could not celebrate like I wanted to. 51 years ago to yesterday, one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of our generation. Well, not our generation. I wasn't alive, but of a generation was made. It's called The Mac. It should have won the Academy Award for the greatest movie ever created. But you know, shout out to Goldie. Goldie dropped some gems in there, and it's a great movie. So hopefully you all were celebrating that or watching that during your time down. If you haven't, you should check it out. It's a blaxploitation movie. It's amazing. You've seen it spoofed numerous times in different movies, but you've just never probably known that it was the Mac. But Goldie had the gang. Goldie had the white girl too. Like Goldie was a pimp. It's about being a pimp. And Goldie showed the youngins. One of them was like, I want to be just like you when I grow up. Goldie, don't you say that. Don't you ever say that again. I don't ever want to hear you say that. You want to go be something else. He was giving them money, but he was telling them, like, don't be me. Be better than me, baby. And he took the white girl. He was like, he's talking about rainbows and just shit. And then they played UGK Outkast, International Players Act.
Yeah.
That song, I Choose You, that they played in the background, that's the score of the Mac. And he has one of the greatest lines in the movie when he talked to Mr. Pretty Tony. And Mr. Pretty Tony was bragging about this bitch. He said, I got this girl. She's so fire. She gave me 50,000 in a she did this, that, and he's talking about her. And then and Goldie's like, oh wow, really? Like he's hyping him up, right? Like, oh man, damn, for real, you got a girl like that? Then the girl walks in. She does not recognize Mr. Pretty Tony. She goes to Goldie. And she says, what does a girl have to? Does a girl have to audition to come and be a part of you? And she's like, baby, I remember you. I have to lose my mind to forget something as fine as you. And then the guy was like, hey, bitch, come here. What the fuck is wrong with you? Be cool, baby. Mr. Pretty Tony, as you can see, you know the game. Your bitch chose me. Now, we can settle this like some gentlemen, or we can get into some gangster shit. And he said it so calm and smooth. And then he was just like, that's when they start throwing out random numbers. And then, motherfucker, can you buy that?
Oh, I've heard both of those on the rap song.
It is just so great. It's got but it's also making us try to believe Richard Pryor is a tough guy, which we know Richard Pryor is not tough, but he's in the movie. He's Goldie's friend.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Motherfucker, can you buy that?
Killer Mike made a song sampling that clip right there. Motherfucker, can you buy that?
I love that movie. I have not watched it enough. I need to watch it more. His brothers woke. Well, not the new white woke, but the old woke. Like when you're like a Pan African, he's trying to get him out of the game. It just all kinds of cool stuff, man. It's a good movie. I like it. I enjoy it. Richard Pryor was the muscle in that movie, which was wild. All right, going to the next thing. Probably some more hurricane shit. Who knows? Dallas, I'll be there tomorrow morning. I'm hanging out with the Seminole Club in North Texas. They're having a tailgate. They hit me up. I introduced myself. They said, I know who you are. We watched the sports there. I love it. We love Den Media Group. I love y'all. I'm gonna see y'all. We're gonna hang out. Do some cool shit tomorrow. Hopefully beat up. Only time in life I want violence on a Mustang is on this Saturday because I coached the Mustang. So I'm going to the next thing. This was cold right here. We actually just play what she says. That's fine. As long as they don't make me have to. Oh no, they have it. They're gonna. I know they're gonna. So Taylor County Sheriff It's cold-blooded, but it's real. When y'all be out here trying to ride these storms out, this is just all you need to do. Listen to this advice when you choose to do dumb shit. And listen to the rednecks.
All our messages from our first responders and our sheriff's offices over the last few hours. One post from Taylor County's emergency management team stuck out for us, though. Ava, can you explain?
I certainly can. The Taylor County Sheriff's Office, Division of Emergency Management, they're not mincing words tonight because of the severity of this hurricane. Now, they are urging everyone to refrain from returning to the area unless officially directed by the Emergency Operations Center. Now, they're also saying if you or someone that you know choose not to evacuate, they're asking you to please write your name, birthday, and important information on your arm or leg in a permanent marker so that you can be identified and your family notified. And they're also asking you to email this information, your residence, your address, your name, etc., so that search and rescue teams can prioritize your location.
Okay, Ava, thanks so much. A grim warning, but something that could help in the recovery effort down the line. We
Dumbass want to stay?
Yeah.
Make sure we know who you are. Help us out. Make our job easier. And this was just crazy to watch in general. This person's house, he's a Gator, I believe, but still sad nonetheless. I hope that those waters recede eventually. But this man has a river in his apartment complex. Or a townhome. I don't know what it is, but basically,
at least he doesn't have to deal with the damages.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. How did you get out?
Well, you know these things are coming. You got to go ahead and get your supplies early, and probably you said park your car somewhere else.
Yeah,
and just get it out of the way, or just have a truck. This is where having a truck comes in handy. Also, the redneck style, jack that bitch up. You ain't got to worry about the undercarriage. You ain't got to worry about all the other shit.
That Riverside area.
Ooh, Riverside, San Marco, St. Augustine, all that shit. Yeah. They had to take jet skis to a nearby hotel. Now that sounds fun.
Yeah, that actually does sound cool. That's why. Like if I could do that on a regular basis.
Yeah, like
jet ski to work.
Sounds like the best thing to do. Sounds like an efficient way to get to where you need to get to. One of the things that we've talked about on the Sports Den before is the combine, the draft, wild draft stories. Then we talked about Michael Sam. We actually talked about Michael Sam a couple weeks ago. A former St. Louis Rams guy was on a podcast, and he was discussing that historical draft moment and what went through it. I personally still believe that Roger Goodell looked at the teams with the most draft picks and said somebody's got to draft this fairy.
Oh my!
Like somebody's got to get him. He's good enough to at least get a shot, right? Nobody was budging, but this is what happened. And honestly, I was curious to what their thoughts were, because let me take you back. Michael Sam gets drafted. You see the initial joy, right? And he does what any person would do in that situation with their girlfriend at the time. Now, he had a boyfriend, gave him a quick little peck, right? But then they made him do it again. And they not only kissed each other and got a lot of tongue action, they did this thing with the cake. Like they fed each other's cake. They sucked the fingers and shit. Now that's when it got weird. But this is what happens. People got to realize just because it's normal to you, we still got to get used to it. But this is what he said on Part of My Take.
I was there the year they took Michael Sam. So they had 2 picks at the end of the 7th round. And so Michael Sam had been the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. So to a casual fan or to someone like me even, it was like, well, that guy's going to get drafted.
Right.
He's an edge rusher who, was the Defensive Player of the Year in the best conference. He was also openly gay. The NFL had never had an openly gay player. And things have changed a lot. But at the time, that felt super heavy. So Jeff tells the room with pick 240, whatever, we are taking Michael Sam from Missouri. And people kind of get chills because it's history. And at that point, you're pretty far ahead of the telecast. So we have a few minutes to kind of be the only ones who know, like, this is going to be cool and it's historic. And we're waiting and waiting, and the pick gets officially turned in. So now we know it's happening for sure. We're waiting and waiting. And then the pick is made. And it's kind of like everybody's just kind of looking at each other like, we were there. It's pretty cool.
Right.
Well, then they had cameras on Michael Sam at his house. I don't know if you remember this, but Michael and his boyfriend at the time celebrated the moment, and there was like a cake smush and face licking off of fingers situation going on. And it definitely changed the vibe in the Ram War Room, not judging in like a homophobic way as much as just that's not very football.
Right.
And it just kind of freaked people out. And one person broke the tension by saying something to the effect of, damn, usually you got to be in the league a minute before you start getting the white bitches.
What a story.
I mean, I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Like, you might not think that was funny, but
It's the way to deal with.
it's uncomfortable things. You have to have fun. You have to have fun with it.
Yeah.
Just like, but this is why we need allies. Not just allies. You need people to help transition you into that culture so that you can know what's real and what's not. And it's not necessarily saying that y'all need to go get gay friends. I'm not suggesting that. Don't make it weird. What I'm suggesting is, though, that a lot of the things, that's what I love about this show. I am a naturally curious person. So, like, I like to know why people do things the way that they do things. In particular, whether they're white, black, Indian, Arab, doesn't matter. I know a lot of white people because I see them and I follow a lot of them on social media. They don't understand why certain things are done. Some things you won't, because you don't realize that it's really not true. You've been fed bullshit by the media, that that fake news. You believe all news that you don't like is fake, and all news that you can somewhat agree with that makes you feel better about yourself is real. Don't know how you do that, but that's what happens. But things that we can help you with are little handshakes and gestures. And I actually saw this on my boy Blake. Blake listens to the show, and Blake was like, "Man, I'm so grateful to be around basketball players, play basketball and football, so that none of this shit is weird to me." Watch Keegan Peele, who might be one of the whitest black people in America, but still understands his blackness a little bit. And was that Nate Burleson, I believe, going back and forth, showing the different greetings and handshakes that African-American men have. That, mind you, there is no book for this. We just know. I think it comes when you get born, like this shit. But I'll let you walk through this. And for my black friends, if you agree, or if my white friends, if you've seen two black people interact with each other that don't know each other, tell me if you agree with how these things are going on.
But then I also told Tony, like, recognize when it's the slap and go. Like, I see, like, what's up, baby? Yeah. You got to slap and go. Because if you're ever worried about it, you can always hit him with that. Because black guys know if you come from business like that, what's up, baby? That way you ain't got and also and there's the pass along too. Man, it's all in the rhythm. And then I don't know if you're not allowed to do this, but there's also the nod. Okay, so
this is the nod.
Hey, after lunch.
So everybody.
It says everything. It's all you do. I see you. Yeah, I see you. Yeah. We're meltdown. Then if you're looking real fine, I'm looking real fine. You want to notice it without saying something, we'll walk by and be like, okay.
Just a couple of all rights. Just a couple of all rights. Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Let's start with one-on-one. Come back to it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you need these things so that you can integrate into other worlds. Like, I mean, this guy is literally going into the locker room. And I don't know if y'all have ever seen the locker room. And this ain't hockey. Hey, hockey, hockey, lacrosse, you need some cross training. If you're a black guy going into that world, white guy going into this world, you got to know. Because again, what happens is, especially with the nod, right? The nod is like, I see you, brother. We're in a situation. It ain't many of us. You're recognized. I have to let you know that you're recognized. Because things like this, that's too much.
It's extra.
It's extra. Be like, but just subtle nod, yeah. Or even better, now this is just a man thing. I've seen babies do this. You see a fine woman walk past you, and just everybody does that look, and then they immediately look to the next man.
Like, did you see that?
Like, did you see that? That's a boom. That is a, what is it? Nonverbal communication to let us know that we are one. And I think once we learn all of these things, we will become better people, and we won't be as easily just like destroyed. So I mean, that's just what I'm saying. Like, we got to know this stuff right here, man. But going on to the next thing, I think college football has been turned on its head. Every year, somebody finds a loophole or something different to be able to change the game. And every year, make sure I'm saying, yeah, go up a little bit. Yeah, UNLV. And every year, people overreact to it. So I remember not too long ago, the only way that you could go play at another school was if you transferred and you automatically had to sit out a year. But then somebody went and did their research, and they read about if you graduate from a school, you are no longer beholden to the school. They called it a grad transfer. So you could transfer and automatically be able to play. Notable guys still in the NFL who did this, Russell Wilson. A lot of guys have implemented this. Or you would have to transfer it down. People hated it at first, but then they became, okay, this is just a part of the game. It's okay. Then everybody started doing it. In fact, it started becoming a strategy of a lot of coaches to get kids to graduate early or go get their AA in high school so that you could graduate college in your first, redshirt your first year, graduate within your first 3 years, and you still have 2 years left to play if you need to transfer out. It was an effective strategy to buy back some of your freedom. Then early signing period came, and everybody was afraid. Then the transfer portal came, and everybody was afraid. Then NIL came, and everybody's afraid. And everybody talks about how this is ruining the sport without giving it time, because everything new always is going to be the killer of the sport. When they reduced the scholarship capacity from over 100 to 85, this was going to kill the sport. When they let black players in, this was going to kill the sport. When the NFL introduced free agency, it was going to kill the sport. And I got news for you guys. The sports have never been more popular than they are now. I don't know if you've realized this, but they keep signing bigger and bigger television deals. Hell, Amazon damn near gave $1 billion just for one night of fucking NFL football. Thursday night football, they pay a lot of money, and they don't even play Thursday night football every week of the season.
Just look at your prices. Look at how hard it is for you to watch every single game and how much it's going to cost you.
It's actually cheaper now to buy season tickets to your favorite team.
Yeah.
And you know what you lazy motherfuckers ain't going to do? Buy season tickets to your favorite team. And also the things that people believe. I was in the chat, one of my group chats, bunch of FSU fans. I love them because it's all over the course of the board. It goes to politics. Some of them are too, I hate to say it this way, but they're too poor to really understand what they're talking about. And I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about. I'm in that world, but fine. If you want to believe that, believe that. Like, I love when people tell me, like, they say the price of one thing I always notice is the price of gas. You know why I notice the price of gas? Because for 10 years, I have a gas guzzler. I have a 36-gallon tank in my F-150. I noticed $4 a gallon gas. You can't tell me. And then also when Obama, like right before Obama took office, I believe it was right before Obama. Yeah, 2007. I did a track club. I had a Camry then. I remember when gas prices got to $4.30 because I was doing AAU track. And I was driving up and down the roads, burning money up. So when gas is $4, it costs me a lot of money. when gas is $2, I really noticed it. Gas was only cheap during COVID when the quarantine happened. It was only cheap. You know why it was cheap? And that's when I'm like trying to argue the president does this. No, supply and demand does this. When they found out that half of America couldn't go to work and you could only commute to and fro, they literally lowered the gas prices because they knew they were going to have a surplus. And gas has an expiration date. So like when people put gas prices was this, and now it's this. I'm like, you're not telling the truth. I say all that to say is it's never. We're in these groups and like there was a person that said I have to pay $20,000. I was having season tickets until I couldn't afford the $20,000 price tag anymore. I'm like, my brother in Christ, it does not cost $20,000 to get season tickets to Florida State.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, like I don't pay that. I love my university. Now, if I become a billionaire, I will buy people for my university. But I'm not like spending that money on I love boosters and stuff like that. But I ain't a golden cheat. Like if you pay $20,000, you one of them high level, you're a decent level booster. He said, I was like, and there's a payment plan. You can pay like your booster fee over 5 months. Matter of fact, I'd argue if you're paying enough money, them bitches will let you do a monthly payment plan. And tickets are I think about season tickets at Florida State, once you become a booster, are about like $300 a year for all the tickets. And like, so when he's saying that, and I'm like, my brother in Christ, that's not true. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, no, that tells me everything I need to know. You're not really a booster. Which is fine. But people like to lie and embellish things to kick it, and you don't need to. But I told him when the time comes, just in case he didn't know, holler at me. I'll make sure they're guided in the right direction. I don't talk about shit that I don't know about. So I say these things to say is that a lot of times people just embellish what the problem is. UNLV had a quarterback that decided that he was going to redshirt this season. And after 3 games in, redshirt the rest of the season, and he's announcing that he will enter the transfer portal. Now, he is 3-0 at UNLV. And everybody vilified the kid. Now, what the kid said is that things were promised and things did not happen the way in which they were promised. So he decided, I don't want to be there. And he transferred. And now everybody's like, oh my God, this is the problem with NIL. It gets entitled kids. And they automatically, for whatever reason, Americans always believe for us to not like the government and people in charge, when it comes to disputes like this, we always believe the boss over the servant. But like knowing your own personal situation, somebody broke it down to them like this. What if you went to work and they promised you X amount of dollars and they decided that they didn't want to pay you? Would you still go to work? Nobody would go to work. But you expect the athletes to do something because you want to be entertained.
Right.
And it's just a wild situation.
It's selfish.
Which, by the way, it made me wonder, how is UNLV broke? Like, how could they should be the biggest player in NIL because there's none but money in Vegas. But I'll say this is what happened. UNLV's problem should have been solved. UNLV chose to not have their problem solved because the kid said basically I was promised $100,000. They did not give me $100,000. This is why I am no longer playing for the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Well, $100,000 ain't nothing to a player like what's his name? Like Circus CEO Derek Stevens. He contacted UNLV with an offer to pay the quarterback $100,000 that he said the university owed him, and UNLV politely declined said service. Basically, they said we do not negotiate with terrorists. The casino mogul reached out. The conversation didn't go far. Wednesday, it would be paid. It would be it decided it would be in the best interest of the community to do their part to help UNLV during a historic football season. So the Palms reached out to UNLV with an offer to pay the money and keep the Rebels starting quarterbacks on the team. Derek and I talked about the situation and thought it would be worth it for $100,000 to keep the Rebels' playoff hopes alive. Mind you, if they win their conference, they get an automatic hope. They'll more than likely automatically host a playoff game in Las Vegas. Do you understand how wild that would be for the city? This man right here is him saying, hey, look, 100,000 shit, I'll make that times 100. He was immediately told there was no chance of such a deal being worked out, as Saluka had already left the program and the relationship appeared to have soured. Hajj Malik Williams is expected to replace Saluka at quarterback, and bettors are backing the 6-year transfer at Circa. UNLV is a 1.5 favorite over Fresno State in Saturday's game at Allegiant Stadium after the Bulldogs briefly were favored when news broke of Saluka's departure. After seeing the number move back up, maybe it's Hajj Malik we should have been focused on, says the guy. And yeah. But again, pay your debts. But is it just that? Because his representation, Marcus Cromartie stated, go back to the other one, stated that he was promised a minimum of $100,000 from an assistant coach before transferring. None of the money was paid. I don't know Las Vegas law. We talked about state of Florida law here, where verbal contracts are binding if you can prove that it was happening. Now, what we don't want to happen to UNLV is the boy to start dropping the receipts. Because if he drops the receipts, then that means UNLV will be going. UNLV hasn't had a winner since Larry Johnson. I don't know if y'all remember that. But UNLV's basketball team back in like the early 90s was cold. Larry Johnson, grandmama, who used to play for the Charlotte Hornets a long time ago. Again, a time when people didn't say that you were selling your soul for wearing a dress and that you were getting shamed into becoming a millionaire. The man had a popular commercial line where he acted like somebody's old. He basically was Tyler Perry before Tyler Perry.
Okay.
Listen, that's put up Smitty. That's why I'm glad. I'm so glad you ain't got no power. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that your utilities is out and that you are struggling during this hurricane since you gonna come on here and talk shit. Love you though. But I hope all minor inconveniences consistently happen to you throughout the course of the day. And I hope Marley eats something bad and just burps, and his burps be stank all throughout your house, so that you can. And I hope my godson decides to just whip his thing out and piss in the corner, just because that's what bad kids do. Anyways, UNLV has got all kinds of shit going on. They got a running back that left. Okay. And we talk about that, but he said the running back came out and said this had nothing to do with NIL. This running back had more rushing yards in a game than I believe UNLV had like all season or something like that before. Montroy, I'm happy your power's on. Michael Allen puts after 3 games, we'll show us highlights here to say, I have decided to utilize my red shirt and enter the portal at the end of the season as a redshirt junior. I'm grateful for UNLV and wish them nothing but success. Expectations for opportunities, unfortunately, were not met, and I am excited to continue my football career. So this is the kid right here, 9 in the box, from Louisville. So I guess he came from Louisville. I don't know what school it was, but this is him. When they show the practice film, it's never great. Oh, NC State is where he came from. I mean, he's skedaddling right here. Decent vision. Good screen set up here. And that's probably should have been a hold.
What do you call the running style where somebody chops so many steps? He takes.
It doesn't. It's not like they got. That means he got great stride rate, but not a lot of stride length. He must be. Let's go back. What is his number? How tall is he? Can we get a Jerry Jones thing on him? What's his name? Michael Allen.
I talk about that every day until it gets more.
My boy
like-
Sarge wanted to avoid that combo
it's just
because he said he's a Cowboys fan. I'm like, you been in the room with Jerry Jones?
if you haven't seen the movie Idiocracy, I always bring it up because it doesn't feel like when kids say life is a simulation. When I see a video of Jerry Jones talking to Jamie Foxx, how random is that?
Yeah.
About a player's penis size. I'm like, okay, this is a simulation. The
He's
Lord
actually
wants to
doing
make
pretty.
me laugh.
He's 5'11", 210, so
Oh wow.
he shouldn't have those small numbers like that. Those small steps like that. So, anyways, that's UNLV. While I'll tell you this again, more NIL talk. Thank you, Jaden, for putting those numbers up. One, the quarterback is like below 50% completion rating. Like, he's not very great. They're just winning games. And I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I've ever watched the UNLV football game. So I don't know if the teams that they're playing are just ass, but I don't know what's going on. Yo, what's wrong? What happened? You got to tell me what happened. You can't just lean on me.
I don't know.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, did you put something
Put
in
something
your
in your
eye?
eye? That's what happened. That's what happened. That would be odd. Shorter legs, long torso. That's never great. But what I was saying is, what I would be is, while David Portnoy says some very wild shit, and he's bigoted, I do know that if I had money, I would be, that this is exactly who I would be like. And let's get this up here. Let's listen to what he says.
Michigan, I will be the quarterback guy. You just say, Dave, you go. I'll talk to Sean. Who do you guys want? Who's in there? Give me a group. I'll go get them. I will sign them $1 million, $2 million, whatever it is.
What's the top?
$3 million.
What if, I mean, are some of them going for more? Wasn't the
I don't
Nico
know.
kid like
Fine, but I can get a quarterback. We don't have a quarterback. I don't. If I don't
You
get the
can get
number
somebody
one,
for 3 though. You
Yeah.
can be in the stratosphere.
Yeah, but you don't want to. I'm wondering, like, is Dave? How are you running this? I want to get a quarterback, or I'm like George Steinbrenner. I will spend any amount of dollars.
no, I'm gonna get us a top 10 quarterback in the portal coming out every year. Top 10 quarterback.
a freshman or a portal.
Okay, I'm interested in maybe doing this for the Badgers too.
And
But I
then-
think that we might.
And then, well, here's
Yeah, you know what? I'm in.
well, here's a little bit of the issue.
Okay.
You'll have to find something else because they're doing a weekly spot on Pardon My Take. My guy, not your guy. My guy. That's already been taken. So you're gonna have to find something else for the Wisconsin guy.
Okay.
But, like college football
So
recap
so the
and a
Wisconsin
college football hit. So
Okay.
there's two things: $3 million marketing
Yep.
agreement. I think that's legal.
I think that's legal. So my guy, I'm thinking, my guy is going to be doing one pizza review a week, and he's going to be on your dozen team. So you're going to
Yeah,
have
he's
to
gonna
break
have
up-
he's gonna
you're
have to
gonna
travel.
break up Eddie and Clem. Unfortunately, you're going to have to break up Eddie and Clem. My guy is going to be your dozen partner.
I wish I had that kind of money. I definitely would pay. Now it'll be some answering, but I would definitely want to be able to pay my starting quarterback whatever I want to pay them.
I know. I mean, I couldn't even get mad about how easy he made it sound, knowing what type of money he had.
Oh, he's got all kinds of money.
Yeah, he can actually do
He
these
can do it.
things.
Yeah, he can do it. And he's going to make money from it.
Why is Boston College not better than? Get your racist ass to work.
He doesn't care about, like, he's a front runner.
Yeah,
He doesn't care
He's a
about.
patriot.
He's not a real boss. Like he's not one of them
He's
real
not.
cats. I'll be honest with you. I would think he's more New York than he is Boston, which is
Yeah,
blasphemous. Especially with the people. Like, what's Boston's like signature food?
Oh, jeez.
Because all I can think about is the candy, Boston baked beans. But I know that's not what you're known for.
White people would say it's fish from the harbor or something. You got fresh fish. For us, it's a very Caribbean place. So if you're gonna have your saltfish and aki for breakfast, you're gonna have your arroz con pollo. You're gonna have there's a lot of Indian people there too. So whatever they eat, I don't
New
really
England
mess with it.
chowder.
Ugh. I don't.
But that's what people from outside would know, like New England clam chowder.
Clam chowder.
Like get some clam chowder. Like it would be so. Like Portnoy ain't going around the world eating the best clam chowder. He's going around the world eating pizza slices.
Most guys like Portnoy aren't from Boston. They're from an outside town, and then they'll claim the whitest part of Boston, which has some hood ness to it because of Whitey Bulger and stuff like that, which it would be Southie. So if you hear him say Southie, no, he's not from Southie. He's not gangster, but he's gonna say Southie.
Man, listen, Primo over here, putting all the Spanish foods in the. You can't claim like that's the other part about America. Like we don't have no really American food.
No, we take the best from everybody.
Everybody, yeah. Like it's just like, why can't we all be American, bitch? None of us want to be American.
Yeah. What would hot dogs or something?
I don't even think we recreated that.
We would have like high fructose corn syrup as our.
Yeah, I don't.
Or the extra large. That's America's.
Making things bigger.
Yeah.
But Portnoy, I would love to be like him. He's offering to put his money behind. I guess that's his favorite program or whatever. Yeah. So hot dogs are Bavarian, apparently.
Oh, really? Yeah. Wow, you learned something new. That would make sense. Though.
Makes sense, yeah. Let's see here.
Oh, that's.
Yeah. They say we're crazy at Florida State. But I've never seen this. And maybe if this has happened, please at Big Game James _36, where we have an FSU fan that goes around recording himself dressed up in his FSU gear and just goes into enemy territory. And I've never seen people react the way that they're reacting. Like none of this makes sense. But look at the aggression that just play it. It's weird through and through, but this is apparently week 1, Florida versus Miami. Fan decides to go around walking. Most fans are peaceful, but this guy found all of the craziest Florida Gator fans, and he's a reckless Miami fan.
Hey, what did you say? What? You ugly ass, you about to get. Keep walking, pal. Oh, no, he's in trouble. Keep walking. Keep walking. Hey, them. Calm down, little bro. What'd you say? Say it with your chest. Oh, don't touch me. You. Excuse me. Do you guys actually think you're gonna win today?
Excuse me.
Oh, who the asked, buddy?
I don't care about winning. I care about winning your.
Yeah, keep sucking your finger.
Let me tell you something, bro. I'm from Miami.
Is he trying to kiss me?
Watch your mouth.
Are you trying to kiss me?
Oh, go home. You. This guy. You. I'm your That's your
Like when you do this, like, what is it?
He really thinks.
I don't think you would.
You're looking at him.
He was like trying to get a reaction.
And he barely knows.
What'd you say down there?
You.
I couldn't hear
You. Yeah.
Like, stand on your tiptoes or something.
You know I will.
Hey,
You know I will.
Yeah, stand on your
What now?
He got to go on his tippy toes.
I
I've never stood out my tippy toes at a man.
Yeah, I know, because I'm talking
Grow
up
up.
to you. What?
Grow up.
How's the weather down there?
Grow up. Too good. Too good.
Hey,
G-Ville,
hey,
bitch.
do you want to
Go Gators.
chew on a piece
Go
of gum?
Gators.
Did you just spit on me?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's still not doing shit. Come back and do something.
Yeah, he did.
So, do you want to apologize or do you want a battery charge? Excuse me, sir, that spit on me. Oh, now you're acting like a hard ass. Okay. I'd rather you just apologize, man. Please just apologize. He spit on me. You want charges? I don't know. I feel like I should ask him to apologize, and if he doesn't, then like maybe, but. Excuse me, ladies, what's a touchdown? That's embarrassing. And you're talking with a crop top. What are you, a female? Fuck the Canes. Hey, better luck next year. Embarrassing. Like your hairline, little bro. Hey, come back and say it. Excuse me. What did you want to say? You want to keep up the energy, or do you want to be a bitch? You want to be a bitch, or do you want to say it? Hey, better luck next year, guys. Better luck next year.
Like this guy.
Who?
We will kick your ass if you keep talking.
We just won.
I don't give a if you won.
You ugly. Keep walking.
Hey, what is this?
No, we don't want Gators.
What's funny is people say social media is not real, that was literally social media right there.
Right.
Like to the point where like buddy's like, you touch me. Come on, you touch me. Like, no, you touch me first. You touch me. I'm like, hell. Stand on your tippy toes was cold though.
Yeah, that was
stand on your tippy toes when you talk to me.
It's just like, why get so violent when you're not even gonna do
like
nothing?
You first and foremost, what I don't understand as an outsider into the fan culture. I'm an outsider in y'all world because I was an insider in the world that y'all watched. Why are y'all so animated for something that you're not getting involved in?
Right. You don't train for this.
You're not fighting, you're not working out. Yes, it stinks when your team loses. But like, does it really affect your day like that when they lose? Like, are you ready to go? Are you really ready to go to jail over a team that wouldn't even recognize you at your death? Like, one of the funny things is like you'll see people say, "Hey man, can you send like you see fans with the casket like it's like draped out in their favorite team, but like why? Did they pay for it? Like you're paying licensing to them in debt. I get pride and I get this and it's just like even when I see people care about the NIL stuff, it's not your money. Why do you care? I love what I love and don't understand is about how strongly people care about things that have no meaning, no real meaning over their life. Oh, your power was out too? Jaden? Damn. Everybody's power like it would be crazy to not have power, how beautiful it looks like out that window right now. That's tough. My bad, Jaden. I didn't even see that. I guess just having power just makes you forget shit. Like not even pay attention to everybody else's struggles. That must be how the third world countries feel. We over here complaining about football games. Meanwhile, there's people in other places that ain't even got power. Yeah. But nah, that was wild. I thought that was crazy. And when I see people talk about the worst of Florida State fan bases, I am proud to have not seen that yet. But damn, Bert, sorry about your power being out, brother. We'll go to the next thing. Miami, well, one, it's two things, too. I got to send you this other thing from Miami. Why I think Miami is going to be a playoff bout team now. I wasn't sure. But now I'm pretty, I have a belief that this is going to happen. And even their fans don't even understand a compliment. Like, definitely doesn't understand. I'm gonna read all of this stuff from this guy. He's a Kappa, so I'm assuming he's sassy. So that might be why. But Miami has, and I'll say this and I'll say it again, the greatest PR sports information department in America. And if you click on this article, that 247 Sports, and I believe they got paid. There's no way you keep writing these articles when they have proven nothing to you. Because they start the same way. But go to the next thing. 247 Sports. How does Mario Cristobal have Miami so far ahead of Florida and Florida State right now? Y'all know they wrote this similar article last year, right? Miami hasn't won anything yet. It's all perception. You know who carves perception? The media. It starts in recruiting with Brian Don 247 and Tom Lloyd 247, who break down the Hurricanes' outlook on the 2025 class, including major targets. The headline isn't how are they so far ahead of them in recruiting? It's how are they so far ahead of them now? So one is it gives the idea that the University of Miami is winning. But they're doing nothing. They're doing the opposite of that. outside of the first 3 games. Now, I believe they're going to have a 10-win season now. I believe they were an 8-9 win team before, but I believe that they're looking trending toward a 10-win season if things continue the way that they're continuing. But god damn, Florida State got pieces like when kids commit, when are you decommitting? When are you doing this? Why is it not sustainable for Florida State to be 13-0? Why is this? Why is this? Mario hasn't even sniffed the amount of success in his time at Miami yet. But the positive articles continue to come in. That's called state-run media. And that is ingenious. It is smart. It is the best thing. The best compliment that I could give the University of Miami is the way in which they manage this. It's wild. He said, "Crooked eyes, this bitch, man." I know exactly what you're talking about with that too. I am not going to. It's not just him. It's not even just one out. Like again, actually, think about it. 247 National is writing articles on Miami that are more complimentary than even their damn Gabe Urethra 247 Local is writing. Meanwhile, we can't get a positive article when we're winning. It's always like we're still worried about Travis Hunter syndrome, which, by the way, is working out for Travis Hunter. Shout out to him. You saw he got Richard Sherman to apologize to him?
No.
Yeah.
Right? Wow.
Bert's Power just came back on because he was watching the show. We need to put that out there. Put that on the Twitterverse there, intern. If you want your power to come back on, we have a 100% effective rate. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but we got power coming back on because they watched the show. And we made some calls to JEA to make that shit happen. Well, guys, go to your email and open up this thing. And I'm going to tell you the real truth of why Miami's back. I just sent you an email. I didn't know that this had happened. But if you click on this picture, can anybody see, blow it up, the significance in this picture? Do y'all notice this? Anybody notice what they're on the goal line, on the 1 yard line, where Cam Ward is lined up? They have an I formation. Maybe they can't see it in that. We'll click on the next. Let's see. Maybe they can see it in the next picture. I don't think they see it. They don't feel it. So, well, now you can't see him now. I like the boldness. Cam Ward is pointing. It looks like he's pointing to where this is where the fuck we finna go. And you can't do nothing about it. Shout out to the juice and swagginess of that. Go click over to the other to one more picture. Let's see. You got Martinez about 220 back there. And he is down in the 3-point stance. This is real football. There is a fucking fullback. I've been saying it. I've been saying it since I've been in media. I've been saying this since before I was in media. It's if you want to win, you got to get the fullback in. If you want to win, you got to get the fullback in. You are playing unserious football if you do not have a fullback in your life. Period. I am giving a compliment to the University of Miami and admiring their utilization of the fullback. You get 85 scholarships. They found it necessary to be able to use one guy, or they're using a guy in dual role. For years, Miami used 2 tailbacks, one had to block. Regardless of the situation, the I formation on the goal line is man ball. They're not out here going in a shotgun and being sassy and sensitive. They're going back to the cocaine era, and I like it. I like it. Smash mouth football. It's necessary. As my mother told me, in this simping generation, a masculine man will never be out of demand. And this is a time more than ever where we need more masculine people out here. But if you click on the X, this is a very unmasculine response. It makes sense now. I couldn't put my finger on it, but now I can see they're ready to play serious football. And scroll down. And this is Captain Kane. And shout out to him for the picture. I want to make sure he got the proper photography credit, but scroll down. He responds. Don't worry, your team's on the schedule. It's VT week right now, though, and we're looking to go 1-0, built to ass Heisman campaign. I like that. Heisman, Cam is one, Cam, Payne, but I don't even think he took the time to even read that was a compliment. I think he just, but then again, I can understand the side. I'm not going to go too hard, Polo Kid. Some of my favorite people are Kappas, but I only know about 15 straight ones. Everybody else a little questionable. But I'm going to put you in the straight category because you listen to the show and I fucks with you. Kappa Kane might be might taste his words a little bit. And he might be sucking on that Cuban sausage as much as the 247 seems to be at this juncture in their lives as well. But, that's what I get for being nice. Darren T put, it's because how UM is playing. When FSU was winning all those games, the offense still looked like shit, and they kept running the same 10 plays, except for Jordan Travis was a Heisman Trophy candidate. Like, did you, when you typed that with your thumbs, did you pay attention to what you typed? I have no problem with retorts, but that wasn't a good one. For most of the time, Florida State had one of the few they had the most consecutive games with 30 or more points, meaning 30 points is a lot, meaning you don't score that if you don't have an offense. Now, their offense now is stinky. That's putrid. Pew. They need to get rid of that shit. Throw it in the trash. Flush it. Flush it twice, matter of fact. But last year's offense, my brother in Christ, chill the fuck out. Let's not do that. Don't do that here. Let's use logical debate. Good debate. Well, then he was elite. He made so elite. So let's use these words. Again, I'm not sure you're understanding what you're so let's just Merriam-Webster. You can't use elite and bad in the same sentence. Because if he was elite at running bad plays, that means the offense was still good. That means it wasn't a bad offense. That means that's opinion. Your words, not mine. Elite. Like, do you know what elite means? Because if you do, you would probably just say, if you want to say that Jordan Travis made up for a lot of let me rephrase. Let me try to figure out what you were trying to say. It's hard for me to comprehend because I don't know if you comprehend. That Jordan Travis was an eraser and he made a bad coordinator look good. I'll say that, but then again, it would go back to everybody said Jordan Travis literally was a terrible quarterback until he wasn't a terrible quarterback. So did the offense help him or did he help the offense? Because it's confusing at times because people move the goalposts. Now, I argue with you that, hey, Miami looks good. Miami's sexy. But, are the plays good? I don't know. Primo. Now, that's what I think he was trying to say. But the problem with all of that is everybody stinks until they don't. But it's cool. And it's not a problem. I don't want to feel like I like you listen to my show. I'm being I just think that's what you said, made no sense because even when Jameis was here, they didn't talk about Florida State like media darlings. And they had one of the most high-ranking offenses in college football history. They still found bad shit. So the hypothesis makes the hypothesis doesn't stand still. But in other words, must move on. Miami plays Virginia Tech on today. I believe that they're going to beat the fuck out of Virginia Tech today.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because Virginia Tech sucks. And I don't have anything. Just go find Virginia Tech if you want to find about the ESPN thing. But Kyle Drones is probably going to be put in the infirmary. If you don't remember, we got a nice little video where Kyle Drones throws the ball out of the back of the end zone while he's being sacked. That's very, 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 very bad. He went from being considered arguably the best quarterback in the ACC to being slightly above DJU. And that is a fall drop. That is a huge drop off. Huge drop off. Miami is better than Virginia Tech at every possible thing. Better offensive line, better defensive line, better running backs, better quarterback. The wide receiver play for Miami has increased exponentially. I will give them props. I saw JoJo Trader do something that was amazing. Blocking. Now, we talked about Megamind and his inability to block and get somebody hurt, whereas we saw JoJo Trader last week escort a dude out the club. Like, drove him into the fucking end zone. It was great. I loved it. My man said Drones is Byers' brother. Explains a lot. That definitely does explain a lot. Actually, what's funny is they asked Cam Ward is DJ Drones, not DJ, Virginia Tech's Kyle Drones' brother. I mean, not brother, cousin, excuse me. And they asked if he had talked to him. And he said, nah. It was real cold cut and dry. He was like, nah, fuck that. Like, fuck that motherfucker. We'll be family after this game. It made me like Cam even more. Damn, boy. Boy's good, man.
Yeah, that's a big chance.
Like, yeah, go back to the actual blow it up so I can see it better. I'm shocked Martinez isn't leading Miami in rushing. That's cool. Reposado is doing what Reposado do. 90.2%. It's at Miami, 7:30 p.m. tonight. Is in a normal year, what stinks about Miami being good is I can't even make the good jokes. You know what you're supposed to be doing 7:30 p.m. on a Friday night? One, if you're a grown-up, you should be going on a date. Taking your old lady. Happy hour if you're single. But this is supposed to be high school football's time to shine. That's what you go to see at 7:30 p.m. on a Friday night. That's when you're supposed to be going to see Miami Northwestern play somebody. But the number set, and what really stinks for Miami, right? Miami plays this game. It's primetime Friday night, but they should be playing primetime on a Saturday, being a top 10 team. You know who they play next week? The Cowbears. You know what time they play the Cowbears? 10:30 p.m. 7:30 that time. West Coast time. Miami is, but it helps too, because like I haven't watched any of the games. I've only watched the highlights, and I know they've been beating the shit out of Ball State, FAMU, and they beat the shit out of the University of Florida. But like Miami, nobody's been in a situation to really watch their games like that outside of Florida. It's fucked up because a top 10 team, like I'll say this. Florida, as much as the media wants to bullshit and talk about how the product is bad and how nobody cares about Florida State games, you know what happens when Florida State's a top 10 team? Every fucking game is in primetime. Every game. You know what happened to Florida State right now? We're not a top 10 team. We are fucking in we're in primetime. Unfortunately. I don't want to be in primetime right now, but they are saying this ass whipping will be televised. Miami deserves to be deserves to be in a time at a time where we can all enjoy them without falling asleep.
Fair.
Because they are good enough for this. Oh, this is the Rutgers Bowl. I didn't realize that. Last Miami lost, Rutgers. Last Virginia Tech lost, Rutgers. Somebody put BET After Dark. Up next, Tip drill. The CW. That should be tripping me out. That's where all Florida State games deserve to be, is on CW. But University of Florida has a bye week. Florida State has SMU coming up. I just talked about where I will be at. If you want to come hang and holler at your boy. I ain't gonna hold you, man. I don't know what the fuck to expect of that game, but right now I can't in good faith say that Florida State is going to beat SMU.
Oh,
I cannot in good faith. Can we pull that up on the ESPN thing? What does ESPN matchup indicator say? I know SMU is favored by 2.5, I believe. And if you're a member, make sure you go put in your picks for college football pick'em and pigskin pick'em, because you already got one game off of the pigskin pick'em, but you can still make your bread. No, they try not to show this thing. SMU, one thing they could do, and Rhett Lashley, great offensive coordinator, used to be the University of Miami's offensive coordinator. He can put up points, but he's also been stopped. BYU, they only scored 15 points on BYU. But Florida State can't, in a loss 18 to 15, which that helps FSU's cause, because we can win games like that. They've scored 66 points since then against TCU. Can you scroll down? I don't know what HCU is. I'm just going to assume it's Harvest Community University. 59-7. They beat Nevada 29-24 in a game that they probably should have lost, but they came back in the fourth quarter. They got a big tight end over there that's pretty damn good. They have scored more points in one game. Let's make sure I'm saying this right. So 34, 46. Yep, they scored more points against TCU than Florida State scored all season. That is tragic. If Florida State has to figure out some way to be able to score at least 24 points in a game. If you cannot score 24 points in a game, regardless of how much I like you, somebody's got to get fired. And obviously it's not Mike. And to Atkins' credit, he wasn't there for the first 3 games. But something has to change. Or something has to change. Florida State has a 71.4%. They're predicted to lose, so that means SMU is favored by that. Florida State opens up SMU's ACC play, or introduces them to the ACC play for the second time in a week. They did this to Cal last week. They're doing this to SMU this week. SMU's head coach, Rhett Lashley, has said Florida State is one of the fastest, most athletic teams that he's played against since he's been coaching there. Very complimentary, but sometimes you have to lie to the chick before you cheat on her, and before you do it dirty. And I just have a strong belief that we're going to get done dirty. I think our defense is good enough to be able to stop them, but if our offense continues to go 3 and out, there's absolutely nothing that can make that defense better. Especially the first 3 games, when you look at time of possession that Georgia Tech, Boston College, and Memphis had, it's crazy. And even with all of that, Florida State still had chances to win, but their offense couldn't do anything. And that's the frustrating part. And DJU keeps getting trotted out there. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think Brock Glenn is the answer. But right now, they've got to change something. And they cannot afford, the problem is if you can't beat if you beat a SMU, things change down the road. Because losing to Georgia Tech, Boston College, and Memphis all made you look weird. It's hard to predict wins when those are your losses. The only thing that can give you some solace, if you're a Florida State fan, is that you know Mike Norvell's been here before. And Rhett Lashley has seen a Mike Norvell team that has lost to an FCS opponent in Jacksonville State not even the better Jacksonville State team. Because actually the Jacksonville State team that came into Doak the year before with COVID was a more talented team than the one that they actually lost to, per NFL things and stuff of that nature. You lost to Jacksonville State, and then you still somehow managed to go out and win, and really should have been bowl eligible. You should have beat the Florida team that fired Dan Mullen. You beat a talented Miami team that was the same shit Miami fans are doing right now. They were doing then. And TVD was going to come in and light you up. You were dead to rights for that game. Everybody just knew that game was going to end badly for you. And you actually reset the PlayStation on Miami. And then Miami started coming back, and then we had the 4th and 14, and everybody thanked us for getting Manny Diaz fired. I haven't seen Rhett versus Mike when he was at Memphis, but I have seen Rhett versus Mike when he was at Miami, and he did now coach him. The first year, Mike wasn't there. You got to remember, Mike had COVID when we played Miami at COVID. Yeah, we see it. Titan Rama puts up a good question. Click on that, the last one. Why can't it just be a defensive game? Just because our offense can't score, then theirs shouldn't score either. That is not a bad retort, but I want to ask you something. Imagine, you know how people always talk about the person who does all the work on a group project and gets the A? Imagine you had to work all the companies that the job you work for, all of the pressure was put on you to win it. You can win it, you can do it sometimes, but eventually you're going to break down. It's a reason why they talk about time of possession. Like football is a physical game. And I'm going to go back to the Boston College game. 14 minutes and 5 seconds is the amount of time that Boston College had the ball in the first quarter with no points. Do you know how long that is in real time? That is 45 minutes that you were on the football field. Now, I want you to think about exercise. Imagine just doing 45 minutes of high-intensity cardio over and over again. And then you ask yourself that same question, how much juice will you have at the end of the game? Because it's tough. It's not as easy as what people think. It's not PlayStation. These are human beings. These are young human beings. And you could. It happens. But when you look at the fact that, not scoring isn't the problem. That is a problem, but that's not the only problem. Cal, neither team scored. The defense won that game. But Cal wasn't holding on to the ball like Boston College and everybody else was. Not scoring and getting off the field quick is where the problem lies in. And that's difficult. Now, luckily, Rhett Lashley is an up-tempo guy. They run they run the air raid offense. They have a good running game, though, by the way. But they run a lot of plays. So we shouldn't have that issue. But Florida State's got to be, if you hold a team to under 21 points, you should win. You should win most Division I football games. That is good. And 3 scores, just like basically asking for a touchdown a quarter isn't asking a lot from your offense. As I just talked about earlier, Florida State, from the end of 2022 through most of 2023, had the most consecutive games scoring over 30 points. So it's not like everybody's lighting up scores for 66 points every week. If you can score a touchdown a quarter, that means you're basically almost at 30. And our defense has to do 3 and outs, and they've been doing a shitty job of sometimes getting on 3rd and long. But also, we can't have a long drive and then follow it up with a 3 and out. that is demoralizing. That doesn't even give you enough time to make adjustments to what the other team is doing to you. Like, you got to at least be able to sit there and just, okay, well, they did this and this work. Here's what you got to do. We got a banjo to call, and you got to do this. And shit, offense through an interception, run on the field. That's tough. That's a tough thing to do. And with one of the best field goal kickers in the nation, take the fucking points, Mike. Take the fucking points, for God's sake. Going on to the next thing. Oh, yeah. So more information for college football. Just a couple things for you guys to be paying attention to. When you think you got problems, you could be Oklahoma. And I don't know what Oklahoma's fan base is like, but I just imagine that little fairy that's over there that covers, was it RJ? Oh my goodness. What are you gonna do? Oklahoma. That is a lot of wide. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 4 wide receivers out? Hey man, I don't know. Auburn's got a running back out, an offensive lineman out. What is the line for this game? Because I'm taking Auburn. On the road, no wide receivers, just walk on. You can't out-recruit this. Kickers out. Jesus Christ. Versus Auburn. I guess I could have just clicked on Hard Rock. I might have to put some bread on Auburn, man. OU is still favored? Oh, no, it opened at -3. It's even now. It's a push.
ESPN still got OU winning 57% to 42.
All right, who we think? Alabama plays Georgia. I might do 2 of these parlays. One parlay has Alabama winning. Another one has Georgia winning. Do we think Colorado's beating UCF? UCF, I think, is like 14.5 over Colorado, which is crazy. Everybody keeps saying, what about Bama? What about Bama? Kirby Smart is tasked with the opportunity to put a fork, put a knife, and submit dominance. If he lets Dober win in year 1, all it's going to do is turn up the Alabama recruiting machine. I think they can beat Georgia, but I just can't pick against my former Mandarin Mustang and Mandarin University and Carson Beck. So go Dogs. Beat the Tide. Again, I meant to put this up here with the NIL stuff, but for the people, Barry Alexander did the exact same thing as the UNLV quarterback. And again, this is just the name of it. What is it? I think Oprah Winfrey said that when they show you who they are, believe them. Barry Alexander, everybody, why does it keep transferring? This is the state of no, it's the state of high school football. 2018, Terrell High School. 2019, Skyline High School. 2020, Denton High School. 2021, IMG Academy. This man went to 4 high schools in 4 fucking years. And you think he's going to stay at one college? He's showing you who he is. Why can't we just sometimes just say that this is just who that person is and it's not indicative of the culture? Like, that's what he's showing you. Like, he's just doing the same thing he's been doing.
That's true.
It's what the parents have allowed. We got kids that and I'm not going to be like, there are people who need to transfer. But if you got transferred 3 times, though, it might be you. It's not your kid.
Damn.
It shows you lack commitment. And you know what? fuck the coaches for recruiting this kid. If fuck any coach that brings them in. That means you're desperate and you're the problem. Stop blaming the damn kids and blame the people who are letting the kids do it.
And his parents, right? Because he's not making friends, right? Football is now his life.
Football is his life, and his parents are looking. The mama had a big baby that's what 6'4", 300, and she saw a meal ticket, and people treated her nicer, and they said, listen, dog, one day we can have some talks about how recruiting really works. And a lot of these women, hey fellas, I'm not saying that Offset's a good person. I want to put this out there. Offset's a terrible person. But fellas, if she agrees with Cardi B, she's a B. And I love Cardi B. I'm an unapologetic Cardi B fan. But Cardi B a hoe. A hoe. Anybody who fucking raw when they're pregnant is a hoe. Like, you need to chill out. Like, that's a whole nother man's baby inside there. And if a dude's doing all that other shit, that's a nasty Negro. But I get it. Cardi B seems fun. You can probably put it everywhere. And she'll put it in the mouth. It's just crazy. That's the part. That's what really women want to say, oh, men can't take it. It's not that men can't take it. We know what kind of hoe you are. And what we don't want is we know what you're capable of and what your powers are. Don't be over there doing that wild ass freaky shit and then come kiss me. That's the part that we be upset about. It's just nasty. It is, Polo Kid. It is, dog. It's wild. It's good. I don't know what makes it better. I think what makes it better is that no matter how you finish, you can't get pregnant again. So you get finished. But the crazy part is there's this thing called Braxton Hicks that women get. When you shoot up inside of a pregnant woman, they got to push that stuff out. In the process of pushing that stuff out, she's having false contractions. You know how nasty of a bitch you got to be able to purposely give yourself contractions? That's not the one of that. But I'll say all that to say is that people who allow these kids, but the mamas is doing this shit. Somebody rubbed on mama's booty. And go back, put the thing up again. I'm gonna tell you why he transferred. Oh, yeah. And I don't know what his mom looks like. Because I don't want to put this lady on blast. She's beautiful to somebody. There, Alexander, mama. Terrell High School. She went there. She wasn't happy. Oh yeah. Is this her? No, that's Bear Alexander's dad. Or the daddy might have got a thing playing with. They only show his dad. His dad is built like a single mother that don't need a man for shit. Oh, that's crazy. See how his dad is?
What?
I'm not gonna blame the woman on this one.
What?
Not blaming the woman. Not blaming the woman. Blaming the tiny dad. They said we're going to like that mean he ain't. I would say it's not his, but he do kind of look like.
Oh, yeah,
he do kind of look.
That's crazy.
Maybe the mama's a big woman.
She got to be
a beast. Yeah. But like, somebody's getting taken care of when you keep transferring schools.
We don't have to show the picture, but say, what do you look like? 5'7"?
Basically, he's to his dad. His dad comes up to his shoulder.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
His dad is not a very big man. Well, compared to Bear.
Yeah, exactly.
Compared to Bear.
Like if Trey got 6'7".
Yeah, Trey 6'7". He's mine now. But I have a lot of questions. I didn't put all the investment in him at this point. Whatever, but it doesn't matter. But that's really, we keep blaming the kids, but we don't blame the adults who created the infrastructure for kids to be able to do this shit. I don't know, man. Maybe the world sucks because the adults don't know what the fuck they're doing. You ever think about that? It's not the kids. I would not take Barry Alexander in the portal. I do not. Any guy, I wish I had the video, but This man on the most important play of the game, he's getting driven and he's getting driven back into coverage. And then he says, free bear. And then enters the point, and then red shirts himself. The fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, man. That's the problem, man. I don't want to. The problem is somebody's going to take him. But this is the problem. This is that you can end all of it. You can really end all the transfer. Every coach complains about the transfer portal. They could dead everything. Don't take anybody out of the transfer portal.
Oh, he is future. You know he's gonna be bad. He's gonna leave you with some kids. He's not gonna be there, but you're gonna keep taking them.
And I don't want to be Sierra in the future. And then over here trying to get the heartstrings of other girls who got their fucking heart broken by other futures because they consistently choose fucking future, but then blame future. We know what future is.
We don't want to hear Norvell's prayer.
Yeah, I don't want to hear Norvell. I want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Why is he like? Why are the kids like this? He's been like this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, he is future. Future got 8 baby mamas. He's about to be on his 8th baby mama. And you're wondering, why did he do this to me? Did you see the history?
Right.
Did you check the whole facts? Offset, why is she sleeping with another man? She drugged men and robbed them when she was a stripper. You knew she was a terrible person. Like, Future is probably the best guy. You know what he is. We don't know what made Future. We just know Future doesn't mind having baby mamas. Same thing with Cam Newton. Nick Cannon. You get with these guys, they're fertile, and they don't mind shooting clubs up. If you get your club shot up by them, I don't want to hear the shit.
And no hate, we're fine.
I'm cool.
Don't complain about it.
Future, my guy.
Yeah.
I love Future. I haven't listened to the new song. The new album.
Did.
Is it good?
I
Or
mean,
is
if
it
you like
Future?
Future, it's
Is
just
it
more.
just Future?
Yeah, it's more Future.
I like the fact that he just says random shit that I don't understand. Like, dresses up and make it real for me.
Yeah.
Even he doesn't know what that means. He says whatever the fuck that means. But yeah, Bear Alexander's definitely Nevadius Demon. Walter Nolan would have been a good transfer. Mims, I'm not saying don't take transfer. I like transfer. I think it doesn't work out. But I think a lot of times these coaches are just speaking bullshit and don't know what the fuck they're saying because they're going to take the best guy.
Right. Hurt the talent and all that.
Yep. I tell you what, if Deion leaves Colorado and Jordan Seaton hits that transfer portal, I want him. Give me that left tackle from Colorado, the freshman kid. Pull up on me. And lastly, I'll leave you with this. The national media lies. They're full of shit. And I want you to check this out. Actually, before we do that, click on, we got a little couple, we got the last one. We got this. I want y'all to hear this story from when me and Travis Holmes, Jags and National Media, we talked about the Jags a little bit. If you go back on the channel, you can go listen to it. Click on that one first with Travis. Actually, you know what? No, let's listen to the bullshit first. So this is what I hate about national media is that they always start this shit off with, I know a guy. And I got in trouble with when I was at 1010XL for calling out Jason Lockenfora for lying. Jason Lockenfora said that he knew that Tom Coughlin, they were going to fire Doug Marrone and in the middle of the season, and Tom Coughlin was going to be the next head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he went on a bunch of inference and things of that nature. We went viral because I asked him, I said, so you're doing deductive reasoning. And he says, what do you mean? I said, it sounds like you're putting up a bunch of hypotheticals based upon the information that you've gotten with people, but you actually don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And boy, he got mad. I have not heard somebody do this. Like, it was the first time and the last time in my life that a grown-ass man told me to lose his number. I've had a woman do that to me before, but I've never had a man tell me to lose their number, and it bothered me. It still bothers me to this day. Because all I said was the truth. Because, you know, Do you guys know who never coached the Jaguars after Doug Marrone? Wasn't Tom Coughlin. Actually, Tom Coughlin was fired before Doug Marrone a few weeks later. And Jason Lockenfora has been saying the Jags are going to London. Here's a guy who I don't know who is following the same path of Jason Lockenfora. Now, with that being said, I would love nothing more than Bill Belichick to come down here and coach the Jacksonville Jaguars. But there is no factual evidence that this is the direction. And this man said he knows a few beat writers. I can promise you know who don't know shit about things like that going on? Fucking beat writers. Like, but let's listen to him because you know why? I think Bill would like it here because we got women, weed, and weather.
I would love
I think we got to push this.
Season, and we'll know it by New Year's. Like it won't be official, but it would be the worst kept secret in the NFL.
The Jaguars. Okay,
without a doubt in my mind.
Okay, why?
Well, first of all, I know some beat reporters down in Jacksonville, and I think there's already whispers there. I'll start with that. The real reason why I believe this, like Shad Khan is a hands-off owner. I don't think he's going to get spooked like Atlanta did when Bill Belichick comes in and goes, I want to run the organization like this. I want to have GM powers. I want to be able to hire my own coordinators. I want to be able to decide the direction of this franchise. I don't think he's going to get spooked by that. I think he's going to like that. I think he's going to want it. If Belichick comes in and he throws those rings on the table, I think that's enough. I think Shad Khan needs a proven winner, someone where he can't get blamed for hiring the coach. Because if you hire Belichick, it doesn't work out. It's like, yeah, he's the greatest coach ever.
It's his fault. Yeah, nobody's mad that you hired Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick is going to be coaching the Jaguars next season, and we'll know it by New Year's. Like, it won't be official.
Right here. We'll go scroll down to the comments. Hold up. That's the most telling. I listen to sports talk radio and Jax every day, and I have not heard anything like this. BS artist right here. I don't know if you guys realize this or not. I don't cover Florida State. I just happen to talk about Florida State. I actually cover the Jags. I've heard people ask me this, but it's never been somebody to where they say like, I have it on authority. This is what I mean when I tell people I wish I had a battery behind me. This is what happens. Look at these two people. You can take somebody who looks like they should have been in Game of Thrones with the bleached blonde hair and the eyes that are they're magnificent. I can't even lie. I would love to have those kind of recessive traits. And then some guy who's literally got the same backdrop that I have right now. You see the door. Like, what's crazy is
he's in Jacksonville.
What's wild about this, I know that man's probably getting paid a couple dollars. Like, they will pay for you. This is what the good podcasts do, right? Not mine, but the good ones do. They give you a microphone. They'll give you the camera that they want you to have. They will give you the supplies. Like, look at the old man's backdrop. This is some guy, some mid-20s something guy that has no connections, talking to an old white man that has a library behind him. And this is who we're believing that have nothing to do with Jacksonville.
He's looking to be him one day.
And what happens is he can become him, not because he's any good at it, it's because he's been doing it so long and he has a battery behind him. So he'll always have a following. What do I got to do? Holy shit. I don't want to be like Coach Jason Brown where I got to be over the top. I like being me. But like, it seems like you either have to be some loser that has to go figure something that that's in his mom's basement that's selling mom more meatloaf. Or you got to be a caricature of a loudmouth. And people might believe that, but I don't say half the shit that I want to say. But that's wild. Damn. Got people ask. If this is the reason why you're asking me about Bill Belichick, I'm going to cuss you out. If I get a battery behind me, it's got to be a casino.
I mean,
it's got to be somebody real strong.
I can't. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Like, because
David Portnoy.
Yeah, because I'm. They don't want me to let out the chopper and sing. If I got to say what I really wanted to fucking say, like, to be honest with you, I want to be Rush Limbaugh, the Black Rush Limbaugh. Play what we got right here with Mia O'Brien. This is funny. We're gonna do more Jags content. I also did a Jags versus the Texans breakdown with my boy Big Sarge. But click on the Cam Robinson needs to redirect that energy.
This one?
No, that's the full thing. Click on my actual Twitter. And this is me and him talking about the petite pumpkin spice princess and Mia O'Brien, who works with the ops. But we used to work together at First Coast News. But we talk about this is the real news. The only time I've ever seen a lineman and the Jags get aggressive is when they went after the petite pumpkin spice princess and Mia O'Brien. And that was Cam Robinson getting mad at her. But go ahead and push play so we can listen to the story.
Aggressive thing I've ever seen Cam Robinson do was buck up to Mia O'Brien during training camp a couple years ago when she asked if they were bringing in Walker Little to replace him. That's the most aggressive thing that I've seen him do is go after a petite pumpkin spice. That's my sister. She actually put up about her love of pumpkin spice. But you went after the pumpkin spice princess, but you won't block the grown-ass men on the football field.
The obvious right answer would have been to just start Walker Little and to start the rebuild. And if you end up having to draft a guy, so be another guy at left tackle or move Anton over to the left tackle, then so be it. That was obviously and always the right decision. And I know we got questions on Walker Little even after what we just saw him. He stepped in for Anton at right tackle this past game for like 2 drives.
I gotta go get these boys haircuts and get my day started. Man, I appreciate y'all chopping up with me. Hope everybody is safe for the from the storm and your power gets cut on and y'all enjoy each other. If you can, look at the different places that are doing donations. Help people out during this time of need. Don't be a dick. All right. See y'all later.
Bye.